Hello everyone, good afternoon to all. Dear authors and invited guests, welcome to Technical Session 9C. Myself, Harshoni, and this session would be moderated by me. On behalf of Global Knowledge Research Foundation, it is my great pleasure to welcome you all to the 9th International Conference on Information and Communication Technology for Sustainable Development, ICT4SD 2024 Goa. This conference has been organized in a hybrid mode. The physical event is held yesterday in Goa, and today and yesterday was for physical, means 8th and 9th of August 2024. I hope you will enjoy the knowledgeable and interactive sessions through the day. In this session, we have 10 presentations, and each presenter will be given 8 minutes for the presentation and 2 minutes for the question and answers. That means each presenter will get 10 minutes total. On 7 minutes, I will raise a gentle reminder so you can conclude your presentation. There's one another request for all the presenters that you may all please stay connected with us in the closing remarks so we can capture the good memories of this virtual conference. And further, if you have any query or any update, you can directly write it to me in the chat box. I will be happy to help you. Just before we get started the session, I'd like to introduce you all to the chair for the session. We have Dr. Poonam Rankar, and she's going to chair the session. Dr. Poonam is currently working as an assistant professor in Department of Computer Engineering, STC Srimati Kashupari Alwari College of Engineering, Pune. She has published 30 plus papers at national and international journals and conferences and authored one book also. Her research interests are Internet of Things, machine learning, security, and database management system applications. Welcome you, ma'am. And if you want to say something about our authors, if you want to.
No, Harsh sir. We will start the session.
Definitely. Okay, so moving forward for the next first presenter, we have Shyam Desai here. Is going to present advanced user interface or cardiovascular risk forecasting using artificial neural network.
Hello, sir.
Please proceed with the presentation.
Hello, sir. Am I audible, sir?
Yes, you are audible.
Can I share my screen, sir?
Yes.
Good afternoon, everyone. We are from paper ID 302. Our problem statement is: am I audible to everyone?
Yes.
Our problem statement is advanced user interface for cardiovascular risk forecasting using artificial neural network. Our motivation is nowadays heart failure has become more and more common serious health issue due to modern dietary habits and secondary lifestyles. So next, while traditional machine learning models, so like SVM, logistic regression, have been used to predict heart failure, but they may not provide the highest accuracy compared to deep learning techniques. They may not provide the highest accuracy. So then we have also built one graphical user interface for our projects. Overview. Heart failure occurs when the heart cannot pump blood effectively, leading to inadequate blood circulation. It results from factors such as cardiovascular disease, high cholesterol, hypertension, lack of exercise, alcohol consumption, and smoking. Early detection is crucial as it can prevent fatalities and improve lifestyle outcomes. So we need to predict heart failure early. It is better to predict heart failure early because early prediction of heart failure is essential to reduce the risk of death and improve treatment outcomes. So in this, the role of deep learning is through artificial neural network that we have used in our project can handle complex data sets more efficiently than traditional machine learning models. So impact, the increasing prevalence of heart failure and its impact on a quality of life and healthcare cost motivates the development of advanced prediction systems. These are the literature surveys. We have gone through a lot of papers, and some of the papers we have put it here, and their results also we mentioned. Next, pipelining of proposed methodology. Now,
Hello.
Hello,
May I audible to hear you? Hello.
Yes.
Hello, my co-author Sridhar will explain the methodology.
So next we will discuss about overview of the proposed methodology. Hello, Shama. Screen is not. So next we will discuss about the overview of the proposed methodology. So our initial stage involves collecting a label data set for predicting a heart failure in patients, and the data processing. Second stage is data processing, and data processing involves several key techniques, mainly data splitting, data normalization, data standardization, and feature selection process. And third stage is model selection and training. Basically, we perform 6 algorithms. In this stage, we select a technique which has a high accuracy. And fourth stage is model evaluation. And fifth stage is design and functionality of graphical user interface. Next slide. So in this slide, we will discuss about the dataset details. The initial stage involves collecting a labeled data set for the predicting the heart failure in the patients. The heart failure clinical records data set from Rana Hospital. It is a comprehensive collection of patient data used for analyzing and predicting the heart failure outcomes. So the data set includes 1886 patients records with 13 features. Features are age, anemia, diabetes, ejection fraction, high blood pressure, platelets, serum creatine, serum sodium, and gender, and smoking, time, and death event. This compression dataset research can develop a predictive models that enable early diagnosis and personalized treatment plans. Next slide. So in this slide, we will discuss about data pre-processing. So data pre-processing is a second stage. Uh, so the data pre-processing involves several key techniques has said earlier. So they are data splitting, data normalization, and data standardization and feature selection process. In for the division of the whole data set into two categories, data splitting is done, which are training data set and testing data set. The training data set is used to train the model, and to examine the performance of the model, we need testing. The normalization is done to scale the data to range of 0 to 1, and which helps predict the model more accurately. And finally, feature selection or feature selection. So it is the most important before training and testing the model, because the feature selection process is done to extract the most relevant features from the data set. For example, age and so next.
This is the proposed ANN architecture that we have used in our project. So it consists of 4 layers. So first is input layer that consists of 12 units. Then there are 2 hidden layers. So first hidden layer is 12 units. Then second hidden layer is 6 units. The final output is 1 unit. So the number of epochs is 500. Last function that we have used, that is binary cross entropy. Why? Because it predicts yes whether heart failure predicts or not. For that we have used binary cross entropy. So train size is 0.7, test size is 0.3. This is the confusion matrix of our confusion matrix of our ANN architecture that we have used in our project. So the true positive are 314, the true negatives are 239, false positive is 1, and false negative is 12. And we have the model is calculated accuracy, error rate, precision, recall. The accuracy of ANN model is 97.7 something. So experimental results, we have compared this result with other deep learning and machine learning techniques. Out of that, ANN has highest accuracy, which is best for our model. So that ANN is 97.70 out of all algorithms. So this is the graphical user interface. This is the we are sharing some screenshots of our graphical user interface, in which it takes the input from the user, age, male, diabetes, whether he has a diabetes or not, whether he has a blood pressure or not. Based on the information that we have entered, it will calculate and it will display the results, whether this person will
Gives a heart attack or not.
This is the conclusion. The project focuses on predicting the status of patient's heart using real-time input data. By leveraging this predictive capability, the project aims to enhance medical practices. So the project's graphical user interface is designed to analyze user input data in real time. This continuous monitoring and analysis help in predicting the current status of the patient's heart. The GUI processes various health metrics and data inputs to generate predictions about heart health. So these are the references of that we have gone through the various papers, research papers that we have referred various research papers for our project. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Sham, good presentation.
Yes.
Tell me which one is your base paper? What is the year of your base paper? Which paper you have referred?
Base paper means the predicting first one is this is first one predicting heart using neural network. This first one is actually we have referred so many papers, but this is the base paper.
Okay. Okay. But you have to refer the latest papers, something like 2023 and 22, I think. Okay.
Yes.
The question for you is, uh, yeah, given that your system is deals with the sensitive health data, right? So what measures have you implemented to ensure the patient privacy and comply with ethical guidelines?
So it takes it will give the valid means we have taken 13 features, out of which what are the important features. Based on that it will give the output.
Okay. So what is your future improvements do you foresee for both the model and user interface?
We actually run this actually the we have taken the different data sets actually. This is one data set that we are presenting. Actually, we have taken the different hospital data set and we got the results.
So which hospital you provide you this data?
This one is actually this data set we have taken from as we have mentioned. Rana Hospital in Ludhiana, Punjab, that we have taken, which is available online. We have taken, and in our Dharwad Heart when SDM hospital is there, we have taken the data
So
from
this
that
the
also.
all data is validated, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, 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 good, good.
Thank you, ma'am.
Now,
Thank you.
yes, you may stop. Sir, we can start with the next one.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Shyam, for the great presentation. Okay, moving for next presenter. Next, we have Lydia on the audio, and he's going to present on artificial intelligence and cybersecurity, challenges, opportunities, and defensive techniques. The presenter, you may please proceed with the presentation.
Okay, thank you so much. Is my voice visible, please? Is my voice audible?
Yes,
Is
yes,
it audible? Okay, I will start by sharing my screen.
please.
Is this screen visible, please?
Yes, yes, it is visible.
Yes, it is. Please.
Okay, thank you. So, good afternoon once again. We are from Tatamege Institute of Higher Education and Research, Maharashtra, India, and we are going to present on a topic that states artificial intelligence and cybersecurity, challenges, opportunities, and defensive techniques. Okay, so these are the contents. We have the introduction, review of the published works. We have the fundamental AI security concept, the threat landscape, defensive techniques, conclusion, and finally, the references. So introduction to this. So we can see that significant progress has been made in the field of AI, especially for speech recognition, image comprehension, and of course, natural language understanding. Recent research has indicated that visual comprehension accuracy had reached up to 95% in specific scenarios, and speech recognition success was attained at 95, at 97% rather, as the integration of AI technology into cybersecurity became imperative. So we saw that various cyber attacks like data theft, denial of service, sabotage, and ransomware have become increased. So we have to like implement the AI approaches into cybersecurity to make sure we don't face this type of risks in future. So we can say that, however, AI applying AI also have to challenges like adversaries which adapt techniques, novel tactics, and unexpected attacks. So this next slide says that AI security extends beyond threat identification, encompassing behavior analysis, anomaly detection, and predictive modeling. AI capabilities enable cyber systems to actively detect abnormalities in user behavior, network traffic, and system operations, preventing potential threats from evolving into full-scale attacks. Finally, incorporating AI into cyber systems is crucial for bolstering defenses and constantly evolving spectrum of cyber threats. So security risks associated with network attacks are often endogenous and derived security issues. Adversaries can countersample or poison data that's actually used for this thing, for making sure you can detect threats that is happening. So AI's role in cybersecurity is crucial for strengthening defenses and acting as a strategic tool to stay ahead of malicious actors. Despite the success of machine learning, many current models are vulnerable to adversarial examples where adversaries intentionally manipulate inputs to compromise the confidentiality, integrity, or availability of machine learning models. So we have seen, so these are like authors that have talked about this. First is Inyajo on his paper that says AI/ML in security orchestration, automation and response. So according to the findings, it says a recent report in his paper indicated that a rapid adoption of artificial intelligence in cybersecurity by business, with almost 75% of companies testing use cases for this technology. Also, Ilyashenko used the sysmaker technique to address cyber risks by integrating security measures into safety systems, of which they were intrusion mode, effects criticality analysis to identify potential hazards, and failure mode effect and criticality analysis. Another one, Metal et al. In his innovative system, automatically extracted data from diverse sources such as NIST, Twitter, Reddit, security blocks, and the dark web. So these data underwent pre-processing stages, including removal of stop word, stemming and null trunking before being used in cybersecurity body itself. So we have the fundamental AI security concept. We have implementation of machine learning in security. So we have them. So in order to enable new security capabilities, machine learning have been used to employ to like detect several scenarios such as spam filtering and dangerous software identification. So machine learning examines past and previous past data and then the present data to find out legitimate and then evil action itself. So it's also used for phishing detection, for identification and anomaly detection in network traffic analysis. Natural language processing was also used for threat intelligence by extracting information from sources. Deep learning is also used for picture recognition in video surveillance, network traffic pattern detection, and security vulnerability analysis of big data sets. So we have the common threats, especially here that we are seeing now. We have deepfakes, model invasion, input data adulteration, and triggerless attack. We have the cases, like I have mentioned 3 cases here. One of state chatbot by Microsoft, autopilot by Tesla, and deep locker by IBM. So what are the impacts of this case? I have mentioned some like financial loss, damage reputation to its organization, to an organization, or to a body, and then finally we have it disrupt the business operations. So we have existing tools so far. We have adversarial robustness, secure communication protocols like encryption and others, and then extendable AI. So we have effectiveness of these tools. Adversarial training can still significantly increase the model's resilience to adversarial attacks. Data security requires encryption, and finally role-based access management. And then I propose technique that in the future, or maybe in 5-6 years to come, we can start seeing the implementation of blockchain technology, federated learning, and of course secure collaboration learning with 2 or 3 more apps, 2 or 3 more AI tools can be made together to solve the problem of cybersecurity. And then in conclusion, so we can say that cybersecurity has changed because AI makes advanced threat detection and predictive analytics possible. Also, incorporating AI into cybersecurity poses novel obstacles such as hostile cyber attacks, compromised data, and moral dilemmas, especially to the company, organization, or to an individual himself. Never-ending adaptability is necessary to overcome that purpose. So we have to still go on doing more research, more findings to get new AI technology, so we can overcome problems of cybersecurity, problems of cyber threats, and rather. So to tackle emerging dangers and guarantee the efficacy and morality of AI-driven cybersecurity systems, policymakers, research, cybersecurity specialists, and researchers can work together. So we have need for like 5-6 bodies to come together to make sure that we can drive away cyber threats facing a company or an individual or an organization. Then finally, this proactive strategy protects against cyber attacks and upholds public trust. So these are the references and the books we have and the articles we have gone to actually make up this work. So thank you.
Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Ididong, the question for you. Am I audible, Ididong, to you?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You're audible.
So what do you mean by this model inversion attack, and what is the triggerless attack?
Okay, so a triggerless attack is like an attack that is made, but you can't take it. It doesn't. For example, using a worm into a computer system, it's attacking the worm, but it doesn't trigger and it doesn't show any signs of like okay, this attack is going on in the system.
Okay.
Am I audible to you, ma'am?
Okay. See, could you elaborate on the thing which you find her, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm not audible.
Yes, now you're audible, ma'am. Just
Okay.
before this, you know.
Idong, question for you is, you mentioned
Okay.
the opportunities and challenges, right, associated with this
Yes, ma'am.
integrating AI into the cybersecurity. So could you
Yes, ma'am.
elaborate on the most significant challenges you have encountered in this integration process, mostly on this real world problem?
Okay. So, for example, talk about a data set that is to be implemented, such as algorithmic bias. Yeah. So basically, you can see I think Gemini also some years, I think few months ago, it was giving wrong message, wrong wrong information, or at times wrong answers when it's being used. So you can see that this model has been
Hello.
data set and the model itself has been adulterated by some attackers into the system, which is making it the user suffer the impact of such wasting. And also it causes loss to the company, to the Gemini company that actually created the system, the app and the chatbot for us.
New presentation. Her sir?
Yes, ma'am. I'll move on. Okay, so moving for the next presenter. Next we have A. Manjrekar, and she's going to presenting on data storage with attribute-based encryption and deduplication filter on hybrid cloud. The presenter, you may please proceed.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. You
Are
can
you
start.
able to listen me?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes. Thank you. I will share my screen now. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Yes. Good afternoon, all of you. Myself, Amruta Manjrekar from Department of Technology, Shivaji University. Today, I'm going to present storage with attribute encryption and data duplication filter on a hybrid cloud. So, cloud storage has emerged as the most convenient and cost-effective solution for the data sharing. As digitization has increased tremendously, huge amount of data is generated every day in a various sector. Cloud technology enables organization to store, manage, and process vast data remotely through the internet-based server. As we use a cloud to store the data, sometimes data may get duplicated on the system as multiple users upload the same file. So here situation handled using deduplication filter. So what we are concerning here is with a cloud technology, deduplication, and a data security. As data security as important aspect with which the sensitive information is secured. In recent year, actually, data sensitization, data sensitivity, and privacy has a major concern while sharing the information with others. Everything from financial records, medical histories to businesses, data needs to be properly safeguarded. So what we are proposing here is a solution for a data which is stored on the cloud with the help of a security and deduplication. So which security measure or technique which we have considered here is a attribute-based encryption. Now, attribute-based encryption is a public key encryption which with secret key of a user and ciphertext are dependent upon the attribute. Actually, ABE is a powerful cryptographic approach for providing a fine-grained access control and security services. It is actually well suited for a cloud-based application where one-to-many needs a encryption or one-to-many encryption is a must. Actually, there are two types of attribute-based encryption scheme. One is a key policy attribute encryption, that is KPABE. Another is a ciphertext policy attribute-based encryption, that is CPAB. In a KPABE, users' secret key are generated based on an access tree that defines the scope of concerned user, and the data are encrypted over a set of attributes. While CPABE uses an access tree to encrypt the data and a secret keys that are generated over the set of attributes. Basically, ABE is overall a secret key of a user, and a ciphertext are dependent upon the attributes such as country, mail address, birth date. In such a system, decryption of a ciphertext is possible only if set of attributes of the user key matches with the attributes of a ciphertext. So it is very easy to decrypt, especially when the attributes are matching. So this is the basic concept of AB. Then deduplication. In computing a data deduplication, basically data deduplication is a specialized data compression technique by eliminating, what we are eliminating is a duplicate copies of a data. So it will free some storage space occupied by the duplicate copy of a data, and also it will make a faster processing faster by saving unnecessary searching. As the copies are deduplicated copies, here the diagram you will able to see where number of duplicated copies are reduced to the less number of copies. So this is the diagram which shows a deduplication technique trend over the years. Actually, it is up to 2018, but we can extend it to the recent years. So basically, it is used for a, what I can say, beneficial for a big data and a cloud areas where the large amount of data is duplicated. The problem statement, what we are going to basically propose here is cloud-based system which will be implemented to provide efficient data secrecy with attribute-based policy, with additional dynamic revocation of user based on their status, as well as to make the hash-based deduplication filter, which will either work online or offline, whether the file is encrypted or not. So for encrypted data as well as plain text, the filter will work. So let us discuss this in detail. Before going to the detail, what is nothing but let us discuss some related work. So we have done the extensive literature survey in this area, and here I am presenting it in a comprehensive way. That is few techniques, key techniques and methods are discussed, like trait-based re-encoding, deduplication on healthcare data, then intelligent object pointers and data access control, again on the medical data that which we have studied. Even we have studied data deduplication challenges with dynamic models in a big data, then cloud computing network, encrypted data uploading and access control via ABE and CPABE policies. So these are the few important papers which we have referred to study all these key techniques like cloud technology, dual encryption, then hierarchical crypto system that we have studied through this. Now next is I will focus on a system architecture. Now system, this is a overall diagram of a system architecture. The system is consist of 5 modules. First is a data owner or a data provider. So it is a company or an entity that generates, creates or supplies the data. So this is a data owner or a data module. Then the important module in this system is an attribute authority. Now it is a crucial component which will perform all secure transaction using ABE, all secure transaction using ABE. It is responsible for generating the cryptographic keys that allow users to encrypt and decrypt message based on their attributes. Again, the attribute authority especially execute the two algorithm. One is the main algorithm setup algorithm and a key generation algorithm. Setup algorithm takes security parameters and generates the public parameters and a master key, which will be used by a user, master private key actually, with the help of which the user specific private keys are created using the key generation algorithm. Now, cloud here we are focusing is on a public cloud where the important data as well as a public data, even we can go for a private cloud if we consider or a hybrid cloud where the important data or a sensitive information we can process on a private cloud, while non-sensitive and large amount of information we can process on a public cloud. Then another entity here or another part of a system is a data user who wants to access or save the information over the cloud with the help of a session identity or a user application.
Sorry
or
to
a
interrupt you,
user
dear
identity.
author, but you have last 1 minute for the presentation.
Hello?
You have last 1 minute for the
Okay,
presentation.
okay. Data duplication, deduplication tools are the function that removes the duplicate entries or values. We can implement the using the hash-based system. So this framework using hashing techniques, which deals with the information hashing. So this is how first we will encrypt, then we'll create the hash and then we'll upload. If hash code is the same, then it is considered as a duplicate entry. These are the few experimental results like key generation time, where key generation time is increased as we increase the number of attributes, but after few attributes, it will become a stable and increase the steadily, even hash generation time. Then reassignment of a key, reassignment and validation of a key graph is here. Then total read time. So this figure shows the total time required to download the data, which is deployed over the AWS, that is Amazon Web Service instance, and the analysis carried out within a 10 days of a time. So conclusion, here attribute-based authority plays a major role. This authority generates the unique identity and secret key from fetching the random attribute. The duplication model helps to filter out the data repetition in an encrypted file too. In addition, revocation and reassignment module is implemented to handle permanently as well as temporarily blocking and unblocking the users on behalf of some set of rules. Overall, combining the attribute encryption, configurable access and control and deduplication techniques, this system will provide a robust solution. These are the few references, and thank you.
Okay, good presentation, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
See, you mentions you have used a dynamic revocation of the users, right?
Yes.
So,
Yes.
could you provide the more details on how this revocation process is managed, particularly in case where user attempts to misuse the access policies?
Yes.
So,
So access policy set of rules are defined, madam.
what kind
And
of the rules you have?
actually, I have not included those set of rules or as paper is lengthy or a system is going large. But what we are going to plan is we are going to implement set of rules, set of policies for
Can you give me
access.
one example of what policies you are going to write?
I'm not able to get you what is
You should write some rules while providing the access control. So
yes.
some one example, which rules you will check whether we have to give this access permission or not.
Okay. Let me give you some example. Revocation is based on a few rules. There may be a self-revocation, temporary revocation, or permanent revocation. So user-based access policy is like rule-based revocation. Maybe it may be a brute force for over a login, maybe a SQL injection attack, or mm, uh, like sometimes so try to access some others account with the help of username. Likewise, we can place a rule like for a brute force or in SQL injection.
Okay, ठीक है, ma'am. The next question is there any feature enhancement or any additional features you plan
Yes, we are
to
planning for
implement?
future enhancement like few dynamic this revocation and access policies are somewhat static or dependent on few things. So is it possible for a dynamic thing or online deduplication case we are trying to implement for a huge data?
Okay, ma'am. No problem. Okay, you can stop, ma'am. We will
Okay,
start
thank you.
the session. Good presentation.
Thank you, ma'am, for your wonderful presentation. Now, I'd like to invite our next presenter. Next, we have Asla Suraj Reddy, and who is going to present on discrete integrated base preparation and integrated ingredient delivery system. The presenter, you
Hello.
may please.
Yeah. So what happened was Suraj won't be presenting. I'm his teammate Pawan Sai. I will be presenting the PPT. Is it okay?
Yes, sir, it is.
Yeah, sure. 1 second. Let me present.
We're also going to present in on behalf of him, right?
Yeah, exactly. Mm. Okay, are you able to see my screen?
Yes,
Yes.
we can.
1 second. Hello all, I'm Pawan Sai. We are paper ID 316 from Amrita Vishwavidyapeetham. So our project is discrete and integrated dish preparation and ingredient delivery system. So the one thing what we get into mind, it's a dish kit, right? So it's nothing but delivering all the ingredients. Let's say, for example, let's say I want to eat chicken biryani. Okay, there are certain list of items such as chicken and masalas, all the masalas and the limited amount of rice. Let's say if you order the same chicken biryani from Zomato or some other online delivery websites, it will cost around 300 to 350, right? But let's say but that will be only sufficient for one person, right? But when we really go to the market and if you put really 300 outside over there, we can really eat a full meal for a whole family. That's what we are planning to do in a way that it saves the time for the user, such as uh, let's say few items to order and few items to add and few not to add, right? So we will be delivering only the required items in a required amount of quantity to the delivery to the person. Okay, so we did a survey among ourselves in the college and nearby locality. The survey result states that as we can see in the right figure, the cooked food is presented in the green and the outside food is presented in the blue. The weight gain, the people who ate outside have major weight gain when compared to the homemade food. That's what, and that's not the only issue. And there are many other issues compared to the outside food and the inside food. And we did a literature review on the few of the projects that earlier done. The first one is the food items prediction using sentimental analysis 2022. So what this paper is like, there was a university called Chandigarh University. What they have done is in the canteen they have put few of the items and sold to the customers, the students. So the whole, it's nothing like they did the sentimental analysis on the feedback of the given feedback given by the students, and all these papers are similar to something like that. They've given the sentimental feedback by using different methodologies such as SVM or logistic regression in the second paper, or some AI models in the third paper, something like that. So the challenges of what we have really faced is like the amount of portion. When only the mothers in the home know how to cook, how much amount of quantity need to be uh, I mean let's say for example, we are cooking a chicken biryani. Okay, only the mothers in the home know how much amount of rice or masalas needed to be added, or the chefs, right? So that's the major quantity. I mean, we can ask a person manually, but we cannot ask the all the list of the items for all the dishes that we are going to prepare. So, and the other thing is nutritional details. There are certain meal kits available in the internet, but none of them are, they just give some random already saved data. They will just provide to the user. But what we have did it, we have created few ML models and LSTM models such that it makes easier for the user to find for an item. And the framework. This is what exactly happens in our framework. First, the user enters the website, and then in the search bar, he will find for an item. And then if the user enters CHI, all the items, we have trained the LSTM model using certain amount of data, not thousands of lakhs of data, certain amount of data, so that if the user enters CHI, the model predicts the uh, list of items comparing with the CHI and provides the list to the user. And then what happens is, the kit producer, it contains of ingredient selector and nutritional value calculator and the video sample for the user to cook it. And then all this data which is added to the cart and then sent to the nearby warehouse selector. So from the nearby warehouse, it will be sent to the nearby delivery partner, and delivery partner will deliver to the user. If the user wants to give a feedback, he can give the feedback to the user, and the feedback is sent to the admin. I mean, the person who sent all the ingredients. The AI first model is that LSTM model. So what exactly it does is, as I mentioned earlier in the search bar functionality, when when the user searches for CHI, it gives all the list of items which are related to the CHI. And the next one is the nutritional calculation ML model. The model, we got this data set from the Kaggle, and it is we have then cleaned the data and numerical operations. I mean, the normal generalization has been done on the ML model. The ML model, we are using this for the quantity. I mean, the quantity, let's say paneer or something other cook, I mean, some other curry. We need the exact amount of the quantity for a single person or a double person, right? So the data set contains of all the data. I mean, the quantity, how much required for a single person. So we have used the data set for it, and we have applied the ML model for it. And the second one is pie chart visualization. So there will be certain kind of people, something like how many nutrients are present in a particular meal. So for the people who are cautious about their health, we will be providing a real-time pie chart visualization by using Python. It's an algorithm which works from real-time updates based on the user choices. And the next one is, as I mentioned earlier, feedback analysis via sentimental analysis. The feedback given by the user sent to the admin. In the admin part, we have did the Flask implementation over there, so that the text is converted into the text goes under the sentimental analysis, and then it provides the admin as either the given statement by the user is neutral or positive or negative, so that the admin can understand, okay, the quantity or the process of everything, I mean, that what they have did is good or not. And then the distance calculation. Let's say if I am in a particular location, and I need to connect to the nearest location to that, right? I mean, nearest location to the delivery person. So we have used an algorithm called Havasin formula. It what exactly happens is that, let's say I will be in from a location A and he will be from location B. It will calculate the from A, it will calculate the nearest location to the B. I mean, by using the longitude and latitude. Then after it will assign to the nearest admin. So that I mean, in the way this distance algorithm works. So from the analysis of a project, we got the accuracy for LSTM improved from 60 to 90% over 100 epochs. And then for the ML model, it's nutritional calculation with variance around plus or minus 5%. And the pie chart visualization, it really helpful for all the people who are really nutritional consciousness. And then the sentimental analysis, the logistic regression we have used here, it's around 82% precision and recall F1 score and all this stuff. coming to the conclusion, we have finally developed a web framework application using MERN stack technologies, and then it's not yet released to the public yet. It's just in our local host. That's what our project is about, and these are the references. Thank you.
Okay, Pawan, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you are.
Okay, so which dish you have prepared with this your prototype with your system? Have you tried any system?
No, not exactly. We haven't tried it yet. I mean, there are no delivery agents over there. I mean, we need to contact them physically, and then they need to have all the ingredients packed in a separate packets. So that it might take some time. We are just some BTech students, so we did our level best, you know.
Okay, okay. Can your this dish kit accommodate dietary restrictions or preferences and the portion sizes for different users?
Yes, ma'am. Let's say, are you able to see my screen now? I mean,
Yes.
yeah, this is our our front end. Let's say I'm gonna check and select the chicken salad. Here is the pie chart. Let's say the chicken breast have the most of the proteins, right? Let's say if I'm removing it, it will perform as expected. I mean, this is what you're asking, right? Now?
Right. So, okay. Does your dish kit integrates with other health or fitness apps?
Uh,
Are there any
no.
plans for such integration in the future?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. We have a lot of plans for the future. Something like getting the real-time data from the farmers itself, and as you mentioned, one more point. No, we haven't. I mean, we don't have any third-party applications, something like that. No, ma'am. Not yet.
Okay. ठीक है. Good, Pawan sir. You can
Okay, ma'am.
stop. I will start with the next session.
Thank you.
Next presentation.
Yes, ma'am. So next we have Monisha Hangam KS, and she's going to present on innovativeness or competence, a self-determination theory model of how students use generative AI in higher education.
Thank you so much, Harsh. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yes.
Let me present my screen. Hope you can see my screen on full screen. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Monisha Tangam, and I'm a student of Amrita School of Business, Coimbatore campus. I will be presenting you our research topic, which is a self-determination theory model of how students use generative AI in higher education. With me, I have my co-authors, Ms. Anju, who is also a student of ASB, and it is supervised by Dr. Shobna Madhavan and Deepak Gupta sir, who is a professor of OBHR and marketing respectively. Moving ahead, this is the overview of what I'll be presenting today. So to give a glimpse of our research work, it all started with the buzz that created around generative AI tools like ChatGPT, Gemini, etc. So we wanted to understand the factors that influence the student usage of generative AI and how it impacts their personality. For example, innovativeness, competitiveness, autonomy. So factors like these, how this generative AI impacts these personality traits. And the next one that we wanted to understand was that for what purposes do these students use generative AI? Are they using it for idea generation? Are they using it for content structuring and so on? To understand these two things, we had exploited two theories. One is the self-determination theory, and the other is the technology readiness and acceptance model. We have got around 448 respondents pan India, and we have used ordinal logic regression using Strata software. And the results, I would like to keep it for the next slides to discuss about the results. So what motivated for a study is that it is generally the buzz that was created around generative AI, and we wanted to understand how this generative AI can be positively used for student engagement and academic achievement, because most of the research that we found out only spoke about the negative aspect of generative AI, how it can curb the student learning and other engagement aspects. But we wanted to understand how it can be used further to motivate their learning engagements. And we also wanted to explore the Gen AI adoption factors, like how it can facilitate a self-regulated learning. And on the third, we also wanted to understand how it impacts the personality traits, as I said before, like autonomy, competence, innovativeness, etc. For this, we have used self-determination theory and technology readiness and acceptance model. So the research gap that we found out was that, as I said before, it only spoke about the various factors that affect the students' adoption and utilization of ChatGPT, but it didn't speak about for what specific task does the student use ChatGPT or Gemini, and also how a student characteristics impact the use of Gen AI. So our research is based only on these two factors, two major. This is our area of interest. So the literature review that we were able to bring out was basically from the year of 2020 to 2024, where the generative AI tools like ChatGPT and Gemini were rising ahead. And what we in a nutshell, what we understood was that it only spoke about the personalization, how generative AI can be used for personalization of learning in schools, and how it can shape a student's atmosphere. It didn't speak about on how it can impact a student personality, for what usage can a student use it further in their research works. So this is a conceptual model. To my right is the independent variable, and to my left is the dependent variable. The AI assessment scale consists of 5 stages, which I would like to mention it here. The first one is the usage of no generative AI. A student would not use generative AI at all. The second stage is a student would use it only for idea generation. The third stage is they use it only for content structuring. And the fourth stage is that they use it only for receiving feedback from the generative AI. And the fifth one is they use it for almost everything. So this is the 5 stages of the AI assessment scale. To the left, autonomy, competence, and relatedness, they come under the self-determination theory. Self-efficacy and self-engagement points out to the motivation factors of a student. The limit here, through limitations, what we are trying to tell is the limitations of the generative AI tool itself. For example, the inaccuracies the ChatGPT might have, or the incorrect or the outdated information that the Gemini might have. So these are the limit here. Through limitations, we talk only about the limitations of the generative AI. And optimism, innovativeness, discomfort, insecurity, these 4 come under the technology readiness and acceptance model. So this is the overall conceptual model. We wanted to understand how the dependent variable impacts the AI assessment scale. So moving ahead, we had exploited around 10 hypotheses, out of which I wanted to only bring out an illustrative hypothesis. So only 3 characteristics: competence, innovativeness, self-efficacy. So it is very positive to think that individuals who have high competitiveness tend to use more of generative AI to stay ahead of the competition. That is one of our hypotheses, which is H2. And innovativeness, students who have more innovativeness, they tend to use more generative AI for idea generation, so that they get to know and understand more ideas for their project works or research work. And the last H8 hypothesis is that students who feel very capable of themselves, they also tend to use generative AI for receiving feedback from the generative AI on how their work is and how they are doing and things like that. So this was our illustrative hypothesis. Let's see how the result goes. So this is a scale of constructs from self-efficacy to AI assessment scale. The next is our methodology. We collected it through an online questionnaire. It consisted of around 10 sections, and the sample size we had collected is around 448 respondents across various disciplines, like from agriculture, science, art, engineering, and business schools, etc. And we had it is a non-probabilistic quota sampling, and the analysis tool that we used is Strata. In Strata, we had used ordered logistic regression. This is our data. So we had around 60% of female and 38% of male population. And as I said before, our data is majorly populated with agriculture and science background students. And our STG is mainly focused on 9 and 4, which is industry, innovation and infrastructure, and quality education. So this is our result. Here, the red color ones indicates the odds ratio, and the black color ones are the Z value. The number of stars indicate the P value. So more the number of stars, it indicates that it has more significance. So the 3-star indicate that the P value is less than 0.01. So to interpret this result, innovativeness ranges very high. It holds higher significance because students with more innovativeness, they tend to use generative AI for almost everything, right? From idea generation, cohesive structuring of the content, to getting feedback, and also using generative AI. And to the contrary, we thought that competency students who feel very competitive, they tend to use more of generative AI. But to the surprise, we got the result in the contrary. The competitive individuals tend to not use AI, or they only use AI for idea generation. So this was a shock that we got from the result. And the self-efficacy, students who feel more self-efficacy, they also tend to use generative AI for cohesive structuring, getting feedback, and mainly on the feedback part. So this is our result. So as I said before, the interpretation is that competency individuals, they don't prefer generative AI at all. And students with higher innovativeness, they tend to seek generative AI tools for almost everything. And for high self-efficacy individuals, they tend to use it for multi-purposes and mainly for receiving feedback. So all our constructs, they are significant for except relatedness construct. So the alpha value is greater than 90%. So this is the interpretation. And the limitation that we got through this project is that it was only, the research was only based on one point. So we don't know if we take the result now, it might be different. So that is, the cross-sectional nature is one of a limit. And we only focused on the data skewed between agriculture students, science and art-based students. So in future, we would like to explore it for more student stream and come up with a very distinctive data. So this is about our research, and thank you so much for the opportunity. I'm open to questions.
Okay, Monisha. Am I audible, Monisha, to you?
Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
Based on your findings, you propose that integrating Gen AI tools into academic course structures, right?
Yes,
So
yes,
what
ma'am.
specific changes or additions would you recommend to enhance a student's engagement and academic performance?
Ma'am, it is mainly based on their personality development. So we wanted to, through this, we wanted to say that generative AI can influence their creativity, their empathy, and their resilience. So it can, regarding problem solving in subjects, this generative AI is a very good tool to solve such problems. So for this purpose, for the learning outcomes is better when you use generative AI, is what we found out, ma'am.
Okay, you mentioned in the introduction part the self-determination theory. Can you
Yes,
elaborate what you mean by this? Can you give me one example?
So in self-determination theory, we have three scale of constructs, which is the autonomy, competency, and relatedness. So autonomy is that how autonomously the student is able to do the particular activity. Competency is how competitiveness they are able to do that particular activity. And relatedness is how they are able to relate themselves with that particular activity and immerse themselves fully. So these three things come under the self-determination theory, ma'am.
Okay, Manisha, you may start.
Yeah.
Thank you. Nice presentation.
Thank you.
Okay,
Start with the next one.
yes, ma'am. It's, thank you, Sir, for your valuable presentation. Next, we have Soundarya Shankar, and she's going to present on money, fame, or something embedded within factors influencing an individual's choice to identify as an Instagram influencer. Dear presenter, you may please proceed with the presentation.
Thank you so much, Harsh. Hello, everybody. Hello, Poonam ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Yes. My teammate will share the screen. Just give us a minute, ma'am. So we'll start with our presentation. Hello, everybody. Our paper ID is 339. I'm Soundarya Shankar from Amrita School of Business, Coimbatore, and my co-presenter is Srinidhi S. We were guided by Shobana Madhavan ma'am and Deepak Gupta sir, who are faculty in Amrita School of Business. Our study was money, fame, or something embedded within. What are the factors influencing an individual's choice to identify as an Instagram influencer? The motivation of our study was Instagram has boomed over the past few years, creating a whole brand of online celebrities. These people are called influencers. These influencers leverage their following, the number of people who are following them, to promote products, services, and lifestyle. This is also called influencer marketing, as you have come to know. Our study dwells into the motivation that drives these individuals to pursue this path. Why do they want to become Instagram influencers? Financial rewards? Is it the celebrity status? It is do they want to self brand themselves, or is it the earning for social validation? So from the literature study that we had conducted, we concurred that there are very few studies that have been conducted on why individuals want to become or choose to become influencers. In contradicting to that, there were multiple studies that had been conducted on how Instagram influencers affect consumer buying behavior, how they make decisions, how they dress, and sometimes even heavy life choices like what lifestyle they prefer. So this led us to our research question: what factors influence an individual's choice to identify as an Instagram influencer? So these are some important papers up for literature review. Fame, fortune, or just fun, a study on why people create content on video platforms, the ingredients of Twitch streaming, affordance of game streams, social media influencer as a human brand, a need fulfillment perspective, and navigating the new era of influencer marketing, how to be successful on Instagram, TikTok, and co. Now, moving on to our conceptual model. Our conceptual model was achieved by combining an extended version of theory of planned behavior and self-determination theory. Here we can see the first box: social recognition, social norm, perceived behavioral control, perceived risk, and knowledge sharing motivation is an extended version of theory of planned behavior. And autonomy, competence, and social connectedness is the self-determination theory. To this, we added variables like vanity, desire for fame, desire for money, benevolence, and social cause. This, we wanted to see the effect of this on the attitude towards becoming an Instagram influencer, and in turn would that affect the choice to identify as an Instagram influencer. This is a table of constructs for each of these variables. We had proper references and proper constructs from which we took our reference from. So what were our results? We inferred from the analysis that social norm, desire for fame, social cause have a significant and positive influence on user attitude. And user attitude in turn had a significant and positive impact on the choice to identify as an Instagram influencer. We actually thought money would be a important factor. We thought money would show significance, but it didn't. We thought vanity would show a significant factor, but it was not. And directly affecting the choice to identify as an Instagram influencer, we had social norm, perceived behavioral control, vanity, desire for fame, and social cause. And here, if we can see, we saw that variables like perceived risk and desire for money actually had a negative and significant effect rather than a positive one, which we had thought would be our result. So for our research design, we collected data through an online questionnaire. It was collected by the method of non-probabilistic purposive sampling technique. We did snowball sampling. We collected data from around 300 plus respondents across 70 cities in India. For analysis, we use the application Strata to run the PLSM, partial least square structural equation modeling, which is a path modeling technique to analyze relationship between the variables. So the limitations that we felt of our study were social desirability bias, because survey participants may not, they would mostly underreport self-serving motivations. They will not be completely honest. Sample representativeness, we cannot say the entire sample is what is in the diverse population of Instagram influencers. The self-reported data, because everything was self-reported by them, it may be incomplete or inaccurate to a certain standard. Concluding our research presentation, I would like to say that our research sheds light on the complex interplay of motivations that drive individuals to become influencers. With the continuous increase of influencers and their impact on the everyday lives of millions of individuals, the findings of this study contribute to a fine-grained understanding of social media influencers' motivations. Future research on this topic would include understanding motivations to help individuals assess their own goals, how to gain insight into the evolving dynamics of online communities, online influence, which can in turn be leveraged and used as a tool to make partnership strategies and influencer selections. These are some important references that we took for our study. Thank you for your time. We are open for questions.
Okay. Soundarya,
Yes, ma'am.
you have your Instagram account.
Yes, ma'am.
So, what is your follower? How many followers you have?
I have around 2,500 followers.
So, have you used any strategies?
Ma'am, actually, the reason why we wanted to do this study is because even if I had 2,500 followers, I would not consider myself as an Instagram influencer, because 90% of the people in my following list are people I know. I was SPL of school, and then I was the, grandmaster in my college. So because of all of that, I had people who I knew. But I know people who have around 700, 800 followers who consider themselves influencers, because they believe that they have influence over the people who are following them. That was the main reason why we found this topic very exciting. It is not mostly about the number of people who they are following, ma'am. They believe that they can grow grow the followers they have. They
Right.
consider themselves to be influencer. It is mostly about them.
Right. Now, can you discuss any challenges you encounter by using the structural equation modeling (SEM) and this MedSim for meditation analysis in your study?
Yes,
So,
ma'am.
were there any particular limitations in that data or methodology that might affect the interpretations of your findings?
Ma'am, since we were talking about pan India, we felt maybe the number 300, we had 317 replies that we could take, ma'am. The entire data collected was around 367. One issue was the coding was pretty easy, ma'am, but when we ran multiple with multiple dependent variables, we had our attitude as a mediating variable, ma'am. So at that point, for us to understand how it works was difficult. But once he got hold of it, it was pretty much easy, ma'am. It was pretty much straightforward.
Okay. Soundara, very good. You can stop.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Nice presentation.
Thank you, ma'am.
And now we'll start with the next one.
Yes, ma'am. So next we have Pradhan Gowda Patil, and he's going to present on prototype development and testing of an adaptive real-time operating system-based density-oriented traffic signal control. Dear presenter, you may please proceed with the presentation.
Hello, I am audible, sir. I am Pradhan Gowda Patil.
Yes, you are audible.
Okay, sir. I will share the screen. Good evening, all, and my name is Pradhan Gowda Patil. I am from KLE Technological University, Hubballi, and our problem statement is prototype and development testing of adaptive real-time operating system based on oriented traffic signal density. And these are the contents which I am going to take in this session. As we know that in urban traffic management, the real-time operating system with the density control strategies has emerged as technically advanced and promising solution. This leverages the model infrared technology to enable a dynamic response traffic control that can adapt to change in vehicular density as key instruction. In unlike traditional control system, they rely on fixed signal timings. This advanced model adapts dynamically the flow of traffic by processing the data instantaneously with the help of RTOS environment and ensuring the smoother and more efficient traffic flow. This adaptability is particularly useful during peak hours when the traffic congestion is typically increases. The continuous analysis of sensor data allows the implementation of signal timings and response the traffic signals condition during congestion, improving the overall traffic management in urban areas. And the comprehensive overview of our project literature survey of our project is we have referred density-based traffic control. The proposed model focused on the development of the signal system that adjust the signal timings on traffic density, proximity sensors are used, and this is basically Arduino based project, and this is published in 2016. And density based traffic control system using image processing. Here the image processing has been implemented with the help of the webcams, and they have implemented using webcams. With the help of that, they have come up with an smart density based traffic light system. They proposed a solution using a digital infrared to the detect, identify, dynamically adjust the traffic signal based on the detected traffic density through roadside sensors. A real-time density-based traffic control system, their primary objective is to create the real-time object adaptive traffic signal. These are all the papers which we have referred and we have considered into a literature survey. Coming to the methodology, here we are considering in our project we are considering our sensor as the IR sensor, and we will read the data from the IR sensor. Whatever the data has been come from the IR sensor will be processed with the help of the microcontroller. That is, we have used LPC1768, which is basically ARM based controller. It is with the help of this we can process the signals, like we can monitor the lights, and uh, we can control the traffic lights like green to red or green to yellow, like the series of like whenever the traffic lane having a particular light like green, the next light should be the green. Those are all our decision taking abilities done by the controller. And coming to the methodology, here the first measuring of the traffic density, as I mentioned earlier, measuring of the traffic density is used with the help of the IR sensor, processing the data which have received from the sensor using LPC1768 in the RTOS environment. In RTOS environment, we have used RTX kernel, like kernel objectives like events and flags. Uh, we have written separately two tasks that we will discuss in the upcoming slides. And we have different test cases, like if we have a same density in two different lanes, like number of vehicle present in the one lane, that is equal to the number of density which is on the other lane. And if there are not much density in the particular lane, how the traffic signal is going to be work, that we will see. And assigning the top priority to the highest density lane in case of equal densities, first field criteria, whatever the line which has filled with the vehicles first, that lane will be cleared. That means assigning the priority to the lane which has filled the first, activating the green signal and clearing the all the vehicles which are present in the high traffic density lane. And the tasks which I mentioned earlier, those are task one is for normal traffic conditions. In normal traffic conditions, the like we see in day-to-day life, the signals are processed with just an timer, like we will have only 90 seconds per each line. After completion of the 90 seconds, we will wait for next, if that signal is turned green for 90 seconds, after 90 seconds the signal will be turned red and the cycle will continuous in the junction. So that is nothing but we have considered here task one. And the second task is high lane density handling. So as our project describes that we have to take the density which as having the number of vehicles high. So we have to make the signals which the vehicles are having the uh, which lane is having the more vehicles. So IR sensor will detect when the density falls, indicating the lane is clear, and they switch to task one. Whenever the vehicles are cleared, like if the density is high in a particular lane, if that lane is cleared with giving green signal, so that it will automatically switch to the task one. The task one is nothing but the normal working of the signals, like red to green and green to yellow, like normal working of condition. And the task two is whenever the density of the particular lane is high. And next we have used some optimization techniques in our code, and we have used constant folding optimization technique. The constant folding optimization technique ensures the calculation using road density are optimized before, leading to faster and more responsive evaluation. The optimization technique contributes to reducing the time complexity of the system, enhance its real-time performance. As the traffic switching has to be happen fast, so that our code will run fast. So which will help in faster switching of the traffic signals, and time complexity will help in to reduce the time switching of the time between the traffic signals. And the test cases are: first one, normal traffic condition. The system adheres a predetermined time schedule or a signal which the traffic is normal. Each lane advance one after the other in each time of 15 seconds. In our everyday life, we will be seeing about 90 seconds, but we have considered here 15 seconds as it is just a prototype we have did it. So in test cases, first the monitoring traffic density will be taken place, and comparison of traffic density of each lane will be taken. If the lane one is high, like lane one density is high, the green signal of lane one is on, and the red signal of all other lane will be on, so that the high density lane, that is here lane one, will be cleared. After clearing the lane one, it will be directly switched to the normal working of the traffic. So it is similar in case of lane 2. So the green signal is turned on, and other all will be turned red. In lane 3 also the similar pattern will repeat. In higher
Sorry
density
to
lane,
interrupt you, but you have last 1 minute for the presentation.
the last test case is equal if any two lanes are equal. So the how the priority will be assigned: if the any two lanes are having equal density, the signal of the uh, signal of the lane one will be turned on, and after clearing the lane one density, then signal two will be on and other will be in red. Similarly, it will compare with all the three lanes, so that the density is cleared. And after clearing the density, it will switch to the normal working of the traffic. And here are the code profiling results with and without optimization techniques. Without optimization techniques, we have got more space and the time. And after optimization technique, we have got less time and the space. This is our prototype. Here we have considered the reference as the we have placed all the sensors equal length in each lane, so that the densities measured across each lane will be equal, so that whenever the vehicle will whenever vehicles will be filled in each lane will be identified and will be turned green. In conclusion, adaptive adapt this work contributes to the growth field of the smart technologies by presenting real-time traffic control system to address the challenges proposed by increased urbanization. The deployment of the system has the potential to significantly enhance the overall traffic management capabilities of cities, leading to more sustainable and which help in the urban environments. And these are the reference which we have referred while doing the projects. Thank you.
Okay. Question for you is how did you ensure the accuracy and reliability of IR sensors used in your systems? So, what factors were considered in selecting their strategic locations, and how do you handle the potential issues with sensor malfunctions or data inaccuracies?
Yeah, ma'am. But we have, as we have done a prototype, we have taken only the IR sensor as a part. It will work for only about 3 to 10 centimeter. It will work. It will work up to that range only. But in real-time applications, we can use ultrasonic sensors. It is having more range than the ultrasonic sensor. Like it is having 3 centimeter to up to 10 centimeter range.
Okay, okay. ठीक है. Can you provide more details on the algorithms developed for this adaptive traffic control systems? How does it process the real-time data from IR sensor to adjust the traffic signal timings?
Actually, the number of vehicles will be counted, and then that data, like how many vehicles are present in each lane, will be stored, and then later on, compared with all the lanes, whichever having vehicles more, that lane will be cleared.
Okay. Uh, you mentioned that the system is designed to be scalable and integrable with the existing traffic infrastructure, right? So, what challenges did you encounter in this integration process?
Actually,
How?
we faced some challenges during implementation in hardware part. So it was basically like in comparison with the different vehicle density, like traffic densities. So we have come up with like in applying the RTOS environment, like task one assigning separate job for that, and task two assigning separate job for that, so that our code reusability and implementation has become easy now.
Okay, good. Uh, now you can stop Pradhan Gowda. Good
Okay,
presentation. We'll start with new one.
okay, thank you.
Okay, so next we have Kiran V. Sonkamble, and he's going to present on sentiment analysis on Indian regional languages. Dear presenter, you may please proceed.
Yes, sir. Good morning. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
So I will share my PPT. Give me a few minutes, sir. It's visible, sir?
Yes,
Hello?
it is visible, but can you make it full screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes, now it's perfect.
Thank you. Good afternoon, all of you. I am Kiran Vishnu Sonkamble. My topic is sentiment analysis on Indian regional languages. I am belong to for Dr. Basa Ambedkar Radwara University in Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar. So my paper ID is 504. I'm under the guidance of the Dr. Sachin Deshmukh sir. So it is agenda or context for the abstract, introduction and related work, methodology and method and results, conclusion and references. So now here we see the first we see to the some introduction abstract. Now we see that the sentiment, what is the sentiments? So sentiments is mean you find out some extract for the data, positive, negative, and neutral. Means it means polarity. And here you can increase what like the nowadays is increasing for the social media and all the things here. So that I am performing for the some taking for the some news for the Hindi, Telugu, Marathi, and Bengali, and apply to the some machine learning algorithm just like here KNN, SVM, and logistic regression. We are and find out to the some accuracy and precision and call for the sentiment analysis. Now here some introduction for you can find out to the some the machine learning. In this machine learning you find out to some logistic or synthetics language, and that one of the you have what is the here some to some documentation, some sentiment analysis, sorry, some sentence and document. So like here we see found the future for the document level and sentiment level. So this is one of the find to the introduction, right to the some we are find to the some lexicon based and machine learning based. Lexicon based like to we are the corpus based and dictionary based, and machine learning you will find out to the syntactic and semantic pattern for matching the sentiment analysis. And here you can using for the different algorithm, and this like to this algorithm like to the some suppose vector algorithm, Navier algorithms, and many algorithms for using, and also you can find out to the some supervised, unsupervised, and semi supervised. Now here some related work, and they are reference to the some paper. So here you find to the centered word in the word net, Marathi word net, and other than word net you can using, and then you can find out to the sentiment analysis. Here you can here you can find out to the some recommendation for the some data what like here to analysis for the content is given to the level or ontologies. Here you can find out to the some different classifications. Then and now here we find to the some sentiment analysis for the natural language processing. You can fill into that different polarity like to the positive, negative, and neutral. Here across into that one of the extract to the for the data for web data. So that one of the naval feature for the heuristic tools for using for the find out to the right. Here one of the remaining part for the aspect based. Now here sentence level, document level, and aspect based sentiment analysis for the identify the for the aspect for the other. Like just like with the example for and to find out the one of the movie review. So that one of the movie review you can find to the some director, actor, story that like to the find to the some abstract. So aspect based like you here approach for the and limitation for the here. So lack of label is lack of label data. What like you're finding to the data for the sentiment analysis for the English language is available for the labeling for the data, but regional language is very little resources available for this data. You want to create the own dictionary and apply for the data to here. But here one of the lack of label data not like here, and here context to the understand to is struggling to what do you mean like here you now one of the meaning of the words what like to in language to define to the different meaning for another language and same language for the that like indicating, and slag of information to using for the context of the depend of the different interval. Sentiment ambiguity like to the vocabulary and dictionary you can using for the introducing for the ambiguity for the sentiments. Now here limitation for the defined to the develop for the data set, perform for the domain or healthcare, limitation resources for the compared to the English data or regional language data are here created to the same framework, and the performance for the various classification like to the creating to the lexicon specify what are like the lexicon here you want to require for the lexicons mean here want to find to the some vocabulary. In this vocabulary you can creating for the this apply for the classification some algorithm. So this is one of the here. Now the compare I am this is one of the in this paper to sentiment comparing to the some different languages like to the Bengali, like to the Telugu, and Marathi. So that already that they're performing to the common sense, and that like the sentiment research work for the here comparing techniques using for the machine learning. So like here to the using for the news data, using for the Twitter data. So now the same thing here, collection of the data and pre-processing data. I'm using for the data set for the consisting for the 200 text book for the training and testing for the validations, and here to using for the different for the languages, some Bengali and Telugu. So they are 250 sentiment. Here you want to find out to the some sentiment score for the how many positive, how many negative, and how many neutral for the different data set. Now here data collections like to the is given to the data for ELOC, MAT and training data set, how many documents you're taking and how to apply the samples and the words to using and validated validation for the data, and this data for the sample to, how many sample is totaling for using for here is the test data like to the how many state data you can using and like to here to 200 documents this sample is totaling is the 5237 total words and 152 unique words like to using for the how many bytes and the sentiment distribution for the Telugu language like to this one of the Ikuda and something that like is find to the some negative, positive and all the things here. Now here the methodology we see in this methodology we see the sentiment for the machine learning and lexicon based and in this based for the machine learning approach for the our algorithm for the SEM, KNN and LR, and lexicon based for the dictionary based and corpus based. So here you can find out the some table for the Bengali. So you can apply for the data for the this one of the classifications. So we going to find out some accuracy, precision, recall, and this recall accuracy like to the logistic regressions for the 80.97, precision for the 77.97. So that like similar to evaluation for the Bengali language, yes, similar to the evaluation for the Telugu language, and they are comparing to the Bengali and Telugu language. You need to find out to the some same algorithm, same implementation for the Marathi language. So and to get to the this table for the Marathi language for the precision and accuracy and recall for the is depend upon for the Telugu language and Bengali language. So now here the machine learning that like to how to extract the features, how to transfer to the future line to find out to the some like to the extract for the n grams. N grams means multiple sentence like 2 grams, n gram, 3 grams, trigrams, like to find out to the positive, negative, and all this in here. Here data preparation also training. And here classification associated to the evaluation for techniques. There are several statistics you can using, and that assessment on the statistics for the using for the precision, recall and scope. So assessment for result, the classification for KNN, classification for the SUM, classification for the LR. Now this conclusion for all the data you can using and machine learning, and you can understand for the this opening that like you are compared to the techniques and characters, the world level, and you are compared to the logistic regressions and other classification assessment for the like here to using for the this data and compare to, and you can see the accuracy which one of the better for the LR and KNN and vector machines for the here. There are some using references. Thank you.
Okay, Kiran sir,
Yes.
am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
You mentioned KNN SVM, then
Yes,
LR.
ma'am.
So can you explain why KNN and SVM consistently performed well across all these three languages, while this LR, logistic regression model, presented varying results? Means what specific characteristics of the LR model lead it to its different performance in each language?
Pardon, ma'am. Can you get? I'm not getting your question, ma'am.
See, KNN and SVM
Yes,
consistently
ma'am.
perform well across all the three languages.
Yes,
But
ma'am.
your LR presented varying in the results.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
what specific characteristics of the LR model led to its different performance in each language?
Ma'am, and they are using in different languages. One of the Bengali language, one of the Telugu language, so that here apply to the data. So that's why here variations for the uh, output, like here using for the LR. So logistic regressions to you can find out to the nearest here KNN using for the nearest value, and that like your logistic regression you can find out to the some data and the variations of the these languages.
Okay, so from where you have taken the data set?
I'm taking for the data set for online newspapers.
So you have created the data set, means you are
Uh,
taking all the
no,
data from the
I'm
only
created in
newspaper.
Marathi word Marathi data set, and already there existing benchmark data set for the Telugu and Bengali.
Okay, so you have created the Marathi data set, and have you
Yes,
published
ma'am.
this data set somewhere?
No, ma'am.
So if you have prepared the data set, you should provide this data set to other researchers to use it.
No, I'm prepared to this data set, ma'am.
Okay. How did you handle the pre-processing of each language to ensure that the machine learning models could effectively analyze the sentiment? So were there
Ma'am,
specific pre-processing steps or techniques used for different languages?
I'm using for the Python programming language. In that one of the find out to the some stop words, find out to the some punctuations, and they are pre-processed to use for the remove for that all the things, and they are to use for the this data. And same thing using for the Telugu, Marathi, and Bengali language.
Okay. Okay. Good. Okay,
Thank
Ranjit,
you, ma'am.
you can stop. Start with the next presentation.
Thank
Okay,
you, ma'am.
thank you, Kiran, for your wonderful presentation. Next,
Thank you, sir.
next we have Madhura, and she's going to presenting on traffic object detection using YOLO VA. Dear presenter, you may please proceed.
Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
Okay, I will share my screen. It's visible?
Yes, it is
Yes,
visible.
yes, it's
Okay.
visible. Now you start the presentation mode.
Okay. So let's start with the introduction. So object detection plays crucial role in the driverless car. Day by day, improvement in the deep learning technology makes object detection much faster and reliable. So object detection mainly divided into two categories: single stage object detection and the two stage object detection. In the single stage object detection, we have the mask RCN and FRCNN, and in the in two stage detection we have YOLO and the SSD. And compared to two stage detection, single stage object detection is very fast and reliable, as well as the training time required to train two stage object detection also more. YOLO object detection development gives the advanced development for the object detection. So the next thing is the overall. So let's start with the methodology. So overall workflow is divided into two parts. First part is a training phase, and the second one is the testing phase. So training diagram gives you the figure one gives you the basic idea about the training process. So for the training, we have divided input data into the 80% for the training and the 20% for the validation. So we have used kitty data set from the Kaggle, and we have labeled using the label img tool. We have annotated the data, and we have selected YOLO V8 model, and we have tuned the different hyperparameters. So the next thing is the testing phase. So whatever the train model we did, that we have used for the predictions. So this is the training phase. First is the data set splitting. We divide into the 80 and 20. Then we use the model selection and then hyperparameter tuning, and we train the model. So this is the testing phase. Whatever the trained model, we give it for the predictions and we predicted the image. So these are the results. In this experimentation, we have used Kitty dataset with the 5,800 images for the training and 1496 images for the testing. And for training, we have used batch size 8, epoch 150, learning rate 0.001 with the Adam optimizer. To train our experimentation, we have used NVIDIA RTX A5000 GPU with the Python 3.9.13 programming platform used for the experimentation. With this setup, we have got the MAP accuracy around 80%, and figure 3 will indicate that and shows the plot of training process. We have used car, pedestrian, van, cyclist, truck, tram, MISC, and the person sitting classes for the object detection. So next in this is actually training process plots. So here we can observe that last two graphs is the MAP 50 and MAP 50 to 95. We got MAP 50 is the 80%. So here are the other graphs also, matrix precision, recall, box loss, class loss, validation loss. So here is the training process predictions. This is the confusion matrix. So as you can see the left side, we have the different classes: car, pedestrian, van, cyclist, truck, miss, tram, sitting person, and the background. So these are the confusion matrix. So this is the precision recall curve. So we got precision for the car is around 95%, pedestrian is the 76%, van is the 89%, cyclist is 84%, truck is a 96%, misc is a 79, tram 94, person sitting around 66%. So overall average precision we got around 85%. So this is the trained this is the whatever the after the training we got these results around. For the we can see that for the 150 epoch with the NVIDIA RTX A5000 GPU we got around 3.375 hours for 150 epoch for 4800 images. So the next. So in this experimentation, we have used YOLO V8X model for the traffic object detection and got MAP around 80%. In future, you can use a different set of the parameters to improve the accuracy, or you can create your own data set to compare your result with the existing data set. So these are my references. Thank you.
Am I audible?
Yeah, ma'am.
Is there any other model than YOLO V8 for object detection? Have you learned any other?
Yeah, ma'am. Actually, single stage detection is the one model which perform good.
So why you have selected this YOLO V8?
Actually, yeah, ma'am. We means in the real time we got the inferences timing is the less. Suppose your SSD provided inference timing is around 10 seconds, so around 5 seconds is provided by the YOLO. So it's a very fast for the prediction.
What do you mean by the learning rate?
Learning rate is the one hyperparameters where you can it is basically used in the optimizers. How much it easily get converged to global minimum. That is the one value.
Okay. Why you choose this kitty data set for your experiments? Means were there any specific characteristics of this data set that made it suitable for your traffic object detection task?
Yeah. Actually, my PhD is in the traffic object detection. This is the one starting phase where actually I created my own data set also later on. So here
You have created or you are going to create it?
I actually after this paper, after the submission, I started working on my own data set also, because I have to compare the results of existing data set with my own data set. So here I have used the Kitty dataset, which is the basically designed for the researcher who are working in the domain of the autonomous driving.
So what different characteristics it have, which will help us to detect this object?
Uh, Actually, they have
What characteristics are there in this data set?
uh, they means actually they mounted the cameras on the cars with the LIDR sensors, we can call it, and they capture the images with the 360 degrees, um, and that's it. Yes. Labeling and all part I only did.
Okay. 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 Nice, Madhura.
Thank you,
You
ma'am.
can stop. We'll start with the next session. Nice presentation.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, so thank you, dear presenter, for your wonderful presentation. Now we have next Divyashri, and she's going to present on understanding user attitudes and intention towards using robo advisors for wealth management in India. The presenter, you may please proceed. Okay, I think so. She's not here. Is there anyone who's representing this paper? Okay, maybe. So, okay, no one is presenting this paper. Okay.
Vivashir is not there. Her teammate is also not there. Varusha and
Yes,
Sandra.
ma'am. Yes, no one is here.
So should we wait for 1 or 2 minutes, or we conclude?
No, I think so. It's the time to close the session at least.
What?
It is the time to close the session.
Okay, so I will give some. I will see something, and then we will stop.
Okay. So should I go for the closing remarks, ma'am?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. Okay, so as we have completed all the presentations in this session, two of them are absent. So I sincerely thank our authors for their excellent presentation and their great contribution in this session, and all the participants for being a part of this international conference. I hope this session was informative enough to all of you. We, on behalf of whole team, thank you for your support during this ninth version of the conference and previous all version of this conference. We will be happy to have you all in the 2025 and 10th version of the conference in Goa. Further, all the presenters will be getting their digital certificates through email within 2 working days. Further, uh, all the papers have already forwarded to the Springer, finally cooperated with the team ICT4SD 2024. It will take around 6 months publication process. I also thank our session chair for being a chair of this session. And ma'am, there is a one token of appreciation to be a chair on behalf of Global Knowledge Research Foundation. Just a second. Yes. Ma'am, here's a token of appreciation from our team and the Global Knowledge Foundation.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your valuable presence. Ma'am, if you want to say something about our authors.
Okay. Okay. Thank you all the presenters for their insightful and impactful contributions. The diverse range of topics from this cardiovascular risk prediction using AI to the integration of cybersecurity and AI reflects the cutting edge research being conducted in various technologies domains. So the development of user-friendly GUI, advanced and encryption methods for cloud storage, and adaptive real-time traffic system demonstrate the practical applications of these technologies in addressing our real-world challenges also. Then additionally, the studies on your sentimental analysis in regional languages, then this Gen AI usage in education, and the motivations behind Instagram's influencers provide valuable insights into human technology interactions. So together, all these presentations advance our understandings of how technology can be harnessed to improve the lives, enhance security, and promote the innovations. So, thank you all for sharing your valuable research and findings. So, keep researching, and the thank you team, thank you ICT for uh, SD4 for giving me this chance to review or as a session chair. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay, so now at the end, I request you all to turn on your camera so we can capture a virtual good memories of this conference. Request everyone, if it is possible, you can turn on your camera. Okay. Thank you everybody for your presence, and thank you ma'am once again.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Stay safe and take care everyone.